Would you time lock pulsex? No. I wouldn't. Because like the thing is, if you're not getting a benefit for time locking, why do it? Because you can just do that with Bitcoin. But like you don't know if there's going to be some opportunity that comes up where you wish it would be liquid, and if you weren't going to sell anyway, then you're saving yourself. The only reason staking HEX is great is because you get the yield. So if you weren't getting any more yield, most people wouldn't stake. They'd be like, LOL, why did you do that? Of course, over time, I still think as the money would come in, like the price would still rise and stuff, but you wouldn't have that continual self-reinforcing people want to buy it because they want to get more T-shares, because they want to get more HEX, because they want to get more of the inflation. If you're not paying people more of the inflation for staking it, they're literally just staking it and they can't sell it. So it's really hard sell to be like, hey, dude, you just want to not be able to sell your money for a while, but maybe it'll pay off because as more people come in, the price will probably just go up over time. And it's still a good strategy to hold long term, but you got to have that incentive, I feel like, or people just don't do it. It's like tragedy of the commons. It's like, hey, if everybody just locks up their money and doesn't spend it, the value of the money gets more valuable. But you're like, well, why would I lock mine up? How about you lock all yours up and I'll keep mine liquid? Is how that would be. But if there's an incentive, then people are happy to do it, and because they're making out, and they're happy to wait long term because they're long term minded. It's just a really good system. It's nice having a long K4K stream. I learned a lot about how to DeFi safely and intelligently from your vids about a year ago. Nice. Been delaying gratification like a MFer.
Watch your profanity.
Ever since, LOL. Nice. That's awesome. Like that's just, it's so great doing a stream or a video and the comments are just positive because I know they didn't lose all of their money in an exchange because they gave up their keys because I told them to. Like how do these other streamers who forwarded people to FTX feel? They're just like, oh man, I got screwed, so feel bad for me. It's like, no, dude, you caused like 1,000x more harm than just what happened to you. You don't get extra pity just because you got hurt. We're trying to save the people who aren't screwed yet. You should charge for phone calls. Please offer a call in exchange for a fee. Some of us are already millionaires and would like to pay for a call for clarity here and there. Thank you. I'll consider it. I don't know. I just feel awkward talking to people about, like, I just feel bad taking money for stuff I just share for free, you know? And then, I don't know, that sounds like, like I've already gotten contacted many times with people asking like, hey, will you take this amount of money for a phone call or this amount of money for, and it's like, bruh, I just don't do it. I see what you're saying. Like, you know, if you're a millionaire and you just want extra one-on-one, I can see that. I guess usually think of like people who they're better off just like watching videos for free. But I guess if you want the expedient breakdown and you can ask like in real time questions, yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps. Sounds like a great request for financial advice. Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, that sounds like you want some financial advice.
We don't do that here.
But I guess it could just be clarity. You know, they could just be asking like technical questions, which isn't financial advice.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Where do you see HEX scaling to in the future? Is this something that should be staked long term or just hold on a cold storage wallet? If you're gonna hold it in cold storage, you might as well just stake it, earn some interest. Because like if you look at the charts, like holding long term beats everything else. As long as the thing you have doesn't have like an inflation bug where you can mint as many as you want and then that person just constantly sells or whatever. The people who delay gratification the longest, they literally can't sell during that time, and then they get some of the inflation whenever that comes due. So that whole time, their buy pressure cannot be sold into the market. That's the beauty of HEX. You come in, you buy up the price, you make everyone richer, and then you can't sell the price because you're waiting. And so another guy comes in, he buys up the price, boom. And then he stakes it. All right, he can't sell. Another guy comes in, buys up the price. He stakes it, he can't sell. So like, but some people come in, they just hold it, they're trading, you know, shorter term stuff. But the general trend, if you actually do zoom out, unironically, and use the log scale. If you're not using log scale, and if I ever see anyone on Twitter using not log scale, even if you're making fun of other projects, use linear scale. It's like, no, use log. Stop this bad habit of using subpar charting skills. Knowing like looking at all the past of Bitcoin, looking like, oh, it looks like it only pumped this year and dumped to zero. It doesn't help anyone. The whole point of the chart is so that you can visually reason with it. If all you're doing is like people just post those charts because they think it makes them look good, but really the people in the know are like, you're just trolling. You're just perpetuating this idea that that's how you look at a chart. And if that's actually how people look at the chart, then no wonder they're traders, because they're like, holy crap, it's crashing down. It's going to zero. And then they really, and then when it pumps, they're like, holy crap. But if you just zoom out and you're like, oh, okay, Bitcoin does this every 4 years. And it's gone up 6.9 million X. So it seems like buying and holding things like this seems to be the best strategy. HEX basically just pays you to do the best strategy in the best asset class in history. So you get paid to do the best thing. And it's decentralized. You're not waiting on anyone else to pay you. It's the contract. It will pay you whatever it's supposed to pay out. There's no Ponzi here. Obviously, if everyone just decided, hey, I don't think HEX is worth anything, I'm pulling all of my money out, it'll go to zero. It's the same for everything, though. If people just stop believing the dollar has value and they won't accept it, guess what? The dollar's worthless then. And people were like, oh, but HEX isn't ever going to be used as like an exchange currency. Well, it's like, guess what? There's Bitcoin, and it went up 6.9 million X, and we didn't even get to 6.9 million X yet. So many of these points are just immediately like, and you just see these people using them, and you're like, wait, how many followers do you have? And this is what you thought would beat HEX in a conversation? Nah. All right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there were times when I was doing Jack that I actually felt retarded, like really retarded. I mean, I brushed my teeth retarded. I rode bus retarded.
Damn.
In a weird way, I had to sort of just free myself up to believe that it was okay to be stupid or dumb.
To be a moron.
Yeah.
To be moronical.
Exactly. To be a moron.
An imbecile.
Yeah.
Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
All right, Buster Brown. Do you see 12 seedword wallets having an issue with quantum? No. Don't worry about quantum computing, IMO. Because the thing is like they already have ideas in place for like protection against that. If that ever is coming about, but it's really not coming about. So, yeah.